We are creatures of habit. And being that we are creatures of habit, we live our life on autopilot. And these autopilot settings are basically our programmings, things that have been instilled in us in childhood, unless we are renewing our mind so we can begin to install new things. But being that we are creatures of habit, when we stop certain habits, we begin to have withdrawals. And that looks like just about the same of a person that is coming off a hardcore drug. Now, most of the people don't understand or even notice when they're having a withdrawal. Say, for example, you become addicted to dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. That is basically the high of feeling in love, the high of being in this new relationship, and your body is not getting it. Now, it's on a cycle now, right? It's the highs and lows of a relationship. When you do not begin to get that, guess what begins to happen? Your body begins to cry out. And what do some of those symptoms look like? Because the symptoms vary from person to person. You may have a headache. You may begin to throw up literally. You may begin, I can't eat. I can't sleep. These are certain symptoms that may appear. Like I said, it may vary depending on the person. But your body begins to go into a withdrawal of crying out. Your mind begins to send signals. Hey, what's going on? Something's wrong. Something's wrong. And this is exactly why I fell in love with the mind, because the mind is so powerful. How are you lying to me? Because you have become so accustomed to death that you don't even realize that we're now in a state of peace. We're now in a state of healing and life. And you're crying out to me because you're missing the death. You're missing the drug of whatever that may be. A lot of times, myself included before, I would look down, or I would kind of feel like I was better than somebody who dealt with drugs that they could see. But when you got to turn the mirror on yourself and realize that you are addicted to a drug that you can't even see, who am I? Who are you to cast judgment on somebody when you're dealing with the same drug? But because you're ignorant of spiritual things, because you're ignorant of how you were created, you don't understand that you are a creature of habit. You don't even realize that you are addicted to them serotonin, dopamine, adrenaline, lying, stealing, cheating. You know, some people are addicted to toxicity. They're addicted to chaos. They're addicted to drama. They're addicted to gossiping. And when they're not gossiping, something is wrong. I'm just down. Something's going on. Something's wrong. You're going through. Just like a person that comes in and is lying because they want to get that hit. They want to get that rise or that high. They begin to lie. Your mind begins to lie, steal, and kill. Kill, steal, and destroy to get that high. It begins to say, well, it wasn't that bad. Maybe I'm the problem. It begins to gaslight you just so it can get that high. Now, I'm talking about a toxic relationship, but this can apply to anything. This is why it's so hard to break generational curses, because people don't understand you are a creature of habit. Therefore, your body will begin to go into withdrawals. But if you know a thing, the just shall be delivered through knowledge. If I know that I'm a creature of habit and I'm going to go into this process expecting for my body to withdraw, expecting my mind to lie to me, then I can get through it because I know what to pray. Sometimes you're praying the wrong thing. Sometimes you need to pray, God, to get me through this, to help me see the truth, take the scales off of my eyes, because my mind, we have to understand our minds can be deceitful. This is why I said I fell in love with it, not because it can lie to you, but because your mind is your life. It says, guard your heart, because out of it is the issues of life. What's in your mind is your reality. We don't see life for what it is. We see life according to what's in our mind. This is why a lot of people, we can look at one same image or listen to one same thing and we all perceive it differently according to what's going on in our mind. You have to understand your mind, because what you don't know is what's going to destroy you. You have to begin to renew your mind, because sometimes this is why Jesus said they see, but they don't perceive. How is it that I can see physically, but I can't perceive? Because my mind is blinded.